Welcome to today's session of Can We Talk. My name is Deidre Moss, and I am the host. I'm an educator, motivator, and a talk connoisseur. For our session today, we will focus on the topic of purpose, and today, we're doing a collaborative session, and so we are on different time zones, and I'm so grateful to have you on board. We're in different time zones. So, what time is it on your side?
It is now 7:27
in the
morning.
AM. Oh my
AM.
gosh.
Yeah.
All right. So you're in Australia, right?
I am in Australia.
Okay, so it's 5:27 on my end. And so we're going to get started with this topic because this is a universal topic. Purpose is a very important topic. So we've invited our special guest, Christina Foxwell of Ignite Purpose, to help us dissect this topic. At this time, I will pass virtual mic to our guest so that she can briefly introduce herself.
Thank you, Deidre. Hello, everyone out there. It's really lovely to be on the show. It's great to speak with you. And it's really just great to be able to share my insights and my heart around purpose. So I'm actually originally a South African, and I migrated to Australia 15 years ago. And a little bit about my background is I was raised in a minister's home, a pastor. And, we had a great love of God, and I could see that my dad was so purposeful. And I was waiting for my purpose to hit me, as you do. And life probably hit me more than my purpose, which is okay too. And I had this amazing, yet for other people might be really challenging few years as I started adulthood. But I always knew in the back of my mind that surely there must be more to this. And I will give you a profound moment quickly, if that's all right. I'm a single parent. I'm sitting in a place called Centurion in South Africa. My heart's just got broken because I was dating someone and it didn't work again. And as I was sitting there, I had this moment hit me, and I do believe it's the birth of stepping into what you were destined for. And I just needed a wake-up call. And that date hit me, and I remember sitting there and saying to myself, Christina, you're destined for more than this. This is only a chapter of your life. And I think that if I can recognize I'm destined for more than this, it doesn't mean I'm going to be more than this. It just is I'm more than this. There's more to my life than this. And the wonderful thing is it's transformed my life. I am now happily married, living in Australia, and I run a practice called Ignite Purpose, and I'm an executive coach, and I'm a foundational believer in transformation. I believe we can transform our lives, and that's what I do every day. I work in organizations with people to help them transform their lives and to become the best of who they already are inside, and to connect with why they're here.
Thank you for sharing that. I love your story. It's kind of a universal thing, finding yourself in a position where you're trying to figure things out. You would imagine you came out of a tough situation and you found yourself, trying to figure out, where do you go from here? And somewhere along the line in that difficult situation, somewhere is where you would have found your purpose. So just want to thank you for sharing that. That's the universal thing. I think, sometimes we all of those moments where we're trying to figure out where our purpose is. So thank you for sharing that. Before we begin, if you just joined us, like and share this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel using the links on our page. We need your support to continue our talks. Also, if there's something that you think we should be talking about, feel free to let us know. We want to hear from you. So with that, we will get into our talk. And so, Ms. Foxwell, can we talk Ignite Purpose?
Yes. Imagine that name, Ignite Purpose, right? So in my journey, I've been in senior leadership, run teams, worked in organizations. And just before I started this practice, I believe I was pregnant with purpose. it was a germinating seed in my heart. And I realized that no money or job title in the world is going to give us that fundamental feel to help us really have a holistic, rich existence. And the way we need to do that is through purpose. So I also recognize that people in organizations need purpose. They need to understand why they're there. They need to feel that they can contribute with what they have. It has to be, purpose is not for you. Purpose is what you bring for the world. And it's not to wrap your personal worthiness into somebody else, but it's recognizing that when you bring the gifts of who you are and you can give it away to somebody else and they can get value and joy and sustenance from that, you can live a purposeful life. And I think that's really important to look at purpose that way. So I started this practice and I am still practicing 10 years in and absolutely loving it and growing every day myself.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. I want to thank Elaine Thompson for joining us. Thank you so much, Elaine. She says, great topic. Thank you also, Ms. Weaver, for joining us. She says, so true. And you hit on some key points. It's touching people. I mean, what struck me was you talk about, persons connecting job titles with purpose and being wrapped up in their work, being wrapped up in maybe trying to define themselves in their work and in their job titles. And that's so, oh my gosh, that's so very true, so very, very critical. We sometimes can get wrapped up in the world of work, that we find ourselves trying to climb this ladder and we think that we'll find purpose once we reach a certain pinnacle, or once we collect a certain job title. We feel like we've reached a certain level of success and we've reached a certain level of purpose. But I like that you shared that really struck me. That really struck me. But I want to talk about your background. I know you talked a little bit about your dad and him being a minister and him knowing his purpose and you trying to, finding your purpose. But I just want to talk a little bit about your background, just a little bit, and how you would have ventured into what you do now.
So I always thought I'd be a minister. I remember at 17 saying to my dad, can I go to Bible school? And him saying to me, you can go to Bible school, but you need a husband in order to minister. And I was like, oh. So Deidre, my story is I've had 4 husbands. My daughter likes reminding me it's only 3 because I married her dad twice. But I was trying to find my journey to who I needed to be through the wrong ways. And so I knew from an early age I was destined to work with people and to connect deeply with them and to support them. What I didn't know at that stage was that I don't have to do it in a church environment in order to make a difference in the world. Okay. And I have to share this because I can see you getting very excited there, Deirdre.
No, that's powerful. That's powerful. Let me just let you talk. That's powerful. I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So I remember years ago when I was a little girl, if you come from a Pentecostal kind of background, we had a prophet come to our church and they were prophesying, and she basically just said to me, I was waiting for her to hit me with like a lightning bolt of greatness or whatever. And she just said to me, you'll travel the world teaching people about love. And I was like, how the hell am I going to do that one? And as I was going through my life, I was like, I don't even know what it is to love. Like, I don't know. I think I know what love is, but do I really know? And it's just been unbelievable the way my background and my beliefs have developed and grown and opened up, and how I had to find peace in myself Deirdre. I had to find love for myself first. I had to find a deeper connection with who I am, because we get told who we have to be. We get told you have to be this. We're so scared of what everyone else around us are going to say about us. Will we fit in? What's the community going to say? Oh my goodness, you're so shameful. All the judgments that we hand out. And love is not that. Love is not that. And I believe love and purpose have a great partnership. Because if I feel my purpose is born from fear of what I am not and what I need to be, I will always chase after purpose. If I recognize that my purpose is born from who I really am, who God created me in my essence, and it's in love, my purpose becomes a light that really I flow towards continually. And so I know I'm using abstract terms here, and I'm actually not an abstract human, but I'm trying to create a reflection for everyone out there. If you feel your purpose has to define your acceptance, you've got it wrong. If you recognize that your purpose is part of a transformational journey of standing next to other people as they bring what they have in this world, and that can be with whatever you have, Deidre. I mean, we're talking about your show at the moment. If you are impacting people's lives because you are sharing truths and stories and reflections and perspectives and gifts to empower their life, then that is a powerful purpose that goes beyond you. And if it comes from a place of love and generosity, it will flow continuously. And as you can hear, I'm incredibly passionate about this.
Yes, I can hear that. I can hear that. And again, I mean, I just, something else that you said struck me. It just, what you would have mentioned in that, sometimes we feel like we have to, like you said, you don't have to be a part of a church. You don't have to be a part of formal organizations to ignite your purpose. Just following your passion, just following, what you feel led to do can help you, find the path to your purpose, but it doesn't have to be within those formal organizations that we normally or typically expect. And as you would have mentioned again, when you would have received that word from visiting your church, you were trying to figure out, how am I going to be?
How am I going to do that?
Definitely. But here you are. Look at you.
And I'll share with you, when I no longer ask myself how I'm going to do that, and where I just connected with the fact that my purpose was coming to life and I needed to embrace it. That's where it shifted for me.
Can you repeat that? That, please?
Of course I can. When I embraced that my purpose was coming to life and that I couldn't necessarily see it. I couldn't see it in totality, but I needed to step into it with faith.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful.
Totally.
You couldn't see it, but you had to step into it in faith. Yeah.
It's like, and now I will use an example. So please, if there's other people there with other religious beliefs, just be open-minded. But when I said this to my brother the other day, because he's going to start my practice in the UK, and I said to him, it's like when Jesus said to Peter, walk on the water. And it took faith.
Yeah.
And I remember as a single parent, I used to think about faith a lot because faith carried me through really hard times, right? But purpose is very driven to stepping into uncertainty and having the faith that it is going to be okay because you are called to this. And what is this? Who knows, hey? I'm called to bring who I am.
Yes.
And I think that's quite powerful.
Very powerful. Very powerful.
And so sometimes we think purpose has to be this very defined piece. I remember.
Yes.
It has to be this defined piece, right? And it has to be that. And
straight line, black and white.
Straight line. I remember when I started the practice, I watched Simon Sinek's The Why on Purpose. If anyone hasn't watched it, please watch it. It's beautiful. But I watched it again and again and again. And my husband was like, please, no more. I can't take it anymore. And I was like, honey, there's something in there. It has to click for me. But that wasn't what impregnated me with purpose. Purpose has always been there. Purpose will always be there. That's why we're there.
Your purpose was always there. Powerful.
It's always been there. Like, it's not something brand new.
Right now.
You were born with purpose.
Wow.
But you can't see it when you are, either focused on success.
When you're distracted.
When you're looking for satisfaction versus fulfillment. Those are two different things.
Definitely. I feel you. I definitely feel that. You're touching on some very strong points, some very powerful points. And I love that you said that, purpose is not something that you need to look for. You're born with it.
You're born with it. It's in you. It calls you. But sometimes you're so busy in your heart and you're wrestling with everything that you're not, that you forget who you are.
Yes. And I love that you said you don't allow other people to define you. I love that you said that.
You don't allow other people to define you. So I'll share this with you, Deidre. My beautiful daddy passed on to be with the Lord 2 years ago, just as COVID hit. He didn't have COVID, but he passed on. And before that, he said to me, I'm so sorry. I said, what are you sorry for, Daddy? He said, I'm sorry I told you girls can't do this because you're doing this. Your ministry didn't lie in the church. Your gift didn't lie in the church. Your gift lay in the work you were called to do. That's probably harder. Because teaching people about love in the corporate space is never easy. Teaching people,
that's a ministry all to itself.
Listen, Deidre, and teaching people that they can start by loving themselves. I think if you come from any religious faith where they are talking about being humble, your parents would want you not to be vain, right? Or to think of yourself too much. But that means you never learn how to have a relationship with who you are. And if you can never love who you are, your gifts and your challenges that others have told you is a challenge, by the way, or maybe your failures in other people's eyes, or maybe the shame that you carry because you're so imperfect, and you can never forgive and see your life as a gift and fall in love with the simple parts of who you are. How can you live your purpose? Otherwise you're always going to be in a wrestle for worthiness and not purpose, and those are two different things.
So powerful. If you can't forgive yourself, how can you walk in your purpose?
How can you walk in your purpose? You keep going to fall over yourself, and you'll keep being distracted by worthiness versus purpose. And we all wrestle with worthiness, by the way. I've not met one person in my world that doesn't, the good enough measure. But if we can come back to the center and go, Deirdre, Christina, if you can bring what you have genuinely the beauty and the parts of you that make you precious. And if you can give them to somebody else, but not give yourself away, but share them, share that. Others will find their gifts too.
Wow. Powerful.
I believe that. Like, our practice went from this big corporate statement, we're going to help organizations transform people to do. And now our practice is we want to make a difference to one person's life a day. Because if they can grow and evolve, they'll make a difference to their world. And my favorite saying is, it starts with you. It always starts with you.
Yes.
You can't give what you don't have.
Exactly.
You can't walk alone, Deidre. And purpose is not about what you get. Purpose is about how the world is better because of you. John Maxwell has a fabulous formula. I like a good formula because I like putting things into logic, right? And the formula goes like this: if you can bring your skills, gifts, and talents so that somebody else can be more, you'll live a purposeful and fulfilled life. The problem is, if I look at this from a fear, I've got to be perfect. Skills, gifts, and talents. Oh, girl, how perfect am I? Well, you're never going to be perfect, darling. No one is. It's okay. Okay? Skills, gifts, and talents. So that others can be more. Who? Well, those who need it. Does everyone need it? No. That's okay. Is everyone ready for it? No. That's okay. Because purpose is, for me, a place of great love. And the willingness to really be seen with what you have. And without purpose, I start looking at money as my definition point. I'll tell you this, Deidre, we have a family practice. And sometimes after a really rough week, and it can be a hard week, because if I'm teaching people about love, you could just imagine, okay? And I'll sit down and I'll go, man, that was hard. And my daughter works with me as a consultant, and she'll come in and sit with me and go, but remember why we do this. Just remember, a measure is not in the bank account. And I will say this to you, when you live your purpose and you're in flow, those things take care of themselves. They always do. But when I look at the bank account, or I look at the star rating, or I look at, did I make you feel good? And I'm looking at all of those things, I miss it. I miss it. And that's not why I get up every day. You don't get up because you got to making a lot of money. You can only do that for a certain time, and your body starts saying to you, I can't do this anymore. Your wife, your children leave you because you never spend any time with them, because you're a workaholic / or alcoholic or drug addicted or whatever it is, because you just can't fill the gap that's just gaping in you. And the only way to fill that gap is to become peaceful, to connect with yourself, and then give of what you have. I'm quite deep when it comes to this, Deirdre, and it is really early in the morning. So I hope everybody out there is okay with what I'm sharing.
Very powerful. Now, I just want to remind you that even though it's early morning on your side, it's kind of bordering into the evening on this side, but powerful nonetheless. Powerful nonetheless. As I want to ask you about training and coaching, and why is training and coaching important in the organizational context? You talk about, dealing with persons on the individual level, going into these organizations. Why is it so important to help persons within the organization to find their purpose?
Beautiful. Well, people are the central part of your organization. Starts with people. The challenge is if I just provide training, so I walk in, I give you a training course, I leave, I go, please change. You go, okay, I'll try that. I try it once, it's imperfect. I feel ashamed. I'm never going to try it again. I try it, my leader sees me trying something new, it's not perfect, my leader gets ashamed, I fail, the leader fails, we never try it again. We don't realize that learning and coaching and growth has to be something practiced again and again and again and again. And let me share something else with you, because I love how the brain works, right? If I am learning, but I'm scared I'm failing as I'm learning, my survival brain takes over, okay? Which means that the neural pathways in my brain are not lighting up for wisdom, for growth. They are channeling back down to fear, okay? So the challenge we have when that happens when we're learning is that people are worried they're going to be imperfect and they're not going to be good enough. So they try and learn everything parrot fashion, but the problem is they're too scared to try it. So why do we have learning and development in organizations? Come on, let's just call it, okay? So I've been in learning and development for 20 odd years. And I was so tired of walking in, training people, giving them research skills. I'm not even talking about somebody just read a book. I'm talking about I work for the research organizations to train these people in best practice. And the worst thing, Deirdre, was when I had to come back to a leader and they'd say to me, your programs don't work. And then I go, well, the research says it should work. So can we figure out what's happening here? And the best question I always used to ask is, do you coach people? And they go, well, I have my weekly catch-ups with them. And my favorite question is, in those catch-ups, are you talking about work in progress? Are you checking in on their job? Or are you spending some time getting to understand how they think, what's important to them, how it's connected to their work, how you can help them feel that they are bringing the best of what they have, how you can speak to them about learning, not failure? Those conversations are not had, Deirdre. What we talk to people about is, and I own a practice myself, and I'm a business owner. I know, like, I don't hire people so they can sit there and just smile at me. Like, I want them to help me, deliver on some of the plans we've set. The problem is they're human.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's not the problem. That's the gift. Okay, that's the gift. That's the gift. So my problem is, how do I work with a human in a human-centered way that allows them to step into purpose, accountability, performance, momentum, growth, learning continuously again and again and again? And so I'll tell you where it starts. In my practice, we talk about a hive. We talk about a beehive. And we believe organizations are like a hive. Each little bee goes off and does their thing and comes back to the hive, okay? The challenge is bees don't naturally, and by the way, I've done a bit of research here. Bees don't naturally know what to do. They get taught what to do, if you didn't know that. In the hive, they get taught how to do it, okay? So they're very much like humans. They wake up, they get taught, oh, this is how I have to do things, right? So they're open for learning. That's the first thing. The second thing is they go off and they go and do their thing, but they come back to the hive. So if this is how it works, then you have to think about this. So if I've got to get you to bring the best of what you have, and to learn how we are better here together, because that's important too, because we didn't all grow up in the same house. There's some things that are okay for some are not okay for others. So we've got to create a bit of a norm. Mm-hmm. But then I want you to grow, and I want you to find who you are. And then I want you to bring what you have. And I want you to put fear into retirement as you embrace love, presence, clarity of mind, wisdom, courage, bravery, the willingness to call your own nonsense bullshit, really, like if we want to really call it what it is, and own your part with courage. Show up for your life. Like, show up. And then if you're struggling to show up, heal. Because that belongs to you. No one can do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
See, we've got to start with the person, and we've got to connect who they are with why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
And we can all do that, Deidre.
Yeah.
My daughter's very different to me. She works in my practice. And she said to me the one day, Mom, the only reason I work for you is because of the purpose you have. I said, no, come on. It must be great working with your mother. And she's very driven around making a difference. She could have worked in a charity. And she goes, no. I work with you because we make a difference to people's lives. That's why I'm here. I'm not here because you could pay me. And by the way, it's not always easy working for parents. Like, we're pretty tough on the kids, but not in a bad way. We want them to own what they create for themselves. It has to be what they bring, right? She goes, it's not about that. It's not because, my son can come in here and come and hug you while you're coaching people. It's not about that. It's because I can bring what I have. And it's because when I bring that, I can see people's life change. See, simple. Is purpose not simple?
Very simple.
So why do we overcomplicate it?
Why do we complicate it when it's so simple? I think we get in our own head sometimes, and sometimes we can be our own enemies. I think we can be our own enemies sometimes. But I want to look to the comments. Dallas is saying purpose, born with purpose, and the world is better because of me. I believe that. Thank you so much, Dallas. Thank you for joining us, and those who are listening in. And you talk so passionately.
Passionate about this. So passionate about people.
I can hear that. I can hear that. I can hear the passion in your voice, and purpose. Purpose is passion. You have to. There's passion tied to purpose, and so in talking about that, and talking about the passion that you have for this, passion that you have for purpose. Why is it important for individuals to find purpose in the work that they do? Why is it so important? Why do we need to find, if we're just working, to pay the bills and to get by, why is it important for us to discover purpose in our work?
That is a good question. Without purpose, I have this part of me that's missing. And I'm going to try and fill it with other things. Chasing for money. Not that money's bad, but I'm going to try and I'm going to come back to worthiness. I'm going to try and go there. I'm going to try and forget that purpose is, oh my gosh, I want to say this. It's such a reverent place in myself. Okay. We need it. We need it. Without purpose, we're going to go and do all sorts of things we shouldn't do. We're going to go and run towards people. I mean, how many marriages could I have, Deidre, in 10 years? You know what I mean? As a minister's child. And I thought that if I could find a husband, I could live my purpose. Do you hear me?
Ooh, girl, that's powerful. Ooh, that's powerful. Oh,
and I didn't know that until I freaking sat down and went,
oh my gosh, that's powerful. So many other women feel that way. How many women feel that the only way they can occupy or find their purpose is if they find a husband, or oh my gosh. Let me let you know this.
And I want to say something to you. If that is why I'm looking for them, they will never be enough. Because they are not the source of the world you need. You are. God has given you this amazing light in you. You were born with it. Why are you looking for that in other places?
Oh my God. You touched on some powerful points, and oh my goodness, I I need to let you talk.
Deidre, you shouldn't unleash me, right? No, but I'm serious about this. We think purpose will give us something, but that's not purpose. Purpose is not what it gives us. It's who we are and how that makes the difference in the world we're in. Let's just get that straight. I don't get up every day because I want to be seen by other people as this coach who runs a business. Who cares about that? Who cares about that, Deidre? Actually, my husband said this to me. He said, "You're never going to retire, are you?" I said, "Darling, as long as there is work to do, I'll do the work." I love what I do because what I do is not about what I earn. That happens because of what I do. I hope I'm reaching people out there to think about it. And I want to say this to you as well. If you can't look inside and realize what you have and start loving what you have with great love, I'm not saying with ego, I'm saying with generosity.
Yes, that's very important. Very important.
It's not ego here. I'm dyslexic.
Yes.
Okay. So I have, as a dyslexic person, I had a call as part of my purpose to write stories to help people find their growth. So I wrote 3, because why would you just write 1? And the first one I think is okay. Not great, it's okay. The second one is my favorite. The third one is all about growth. The fourth one I'm writing is about transformation. So, but I'm going to say this to you. I'm called to do that because of my purpose, not because of, so I'll have a client who goes, "Ooh, so how are your books doing?" I go, "I don't know. Hopefully it's touching people's lives." Whoop, whoop. That's not why I'm here. That is not why I'm here. I'm here for more than the tangible things in my world. The tangible things happen because of what I do.
Yeah.
But that's not why I'm here.
I love that you say that. And I love that you said when you're walking in your purpose, those things will take care of themselves. And I love that I love that you said that.
They do, because when you are transformed by your purpose, because your purpose will transform you, by the way.
Definitely.
You have no choice. Once you've stepped into it and you're swimming in it.
Definitely. And if you're not transformed by your purpose, then you probably aren't walking in your purpose.
Thank you. Boom. Boom.
Definitely.
Faith to step into your purpose, even when you can't see it for what it is.
Yes.
And if you want to go and do a little practice, share how to find a bit of purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very easy way. Get some Post-it notes and markers and take a space up on a wall, on a door, somewhere where your family members can join you. And put the Post-it notes there and put a little pen there and go, right, I'm going to think about what are the gifts I have. Because remember, that's part of you already. Like, what do you have? And so I did this in my husband's study. And I made this massive wall of Post-it notes of all the things I bring to the world. And some of them were quite practical. Some of them were very business. Some of them were a bit mad, like, throw my hands in the air, dance around like a jelly bear, whatever it is that I like doing. And I said, "Can you help me? Can you add some? What do you see in me that when I bring it to this world, the world is better?" And then I went and looked at that and I just sat and stared at it for a long time. And then I went, okay, so this is what I can bring the world. Am I doing it? And not, am I doing it so that I can get paid? Of course I'm going to get paid. Do not think about that, because if you're not exchanging some of your values, then really, let's get real.
That is so important. Very critical that you mentioned that, because sometimes, when you're looking for the tangible rewards and you're looking for that immediately, that may cause you to step outside of what you're supposed to be doing, especially if you're just expecting to reap those financial benefits right away. It doesn't always come right away.
It does not come right away, Deidre. For the first 2 years in my practice, I saved money versus drawing a salary.
Oh, wow.
I was very blessed that I could contribute to the household expenses, and my husband carried the majority. He didn't talk to me for the first few weeks, by the way, when I started my business, because he was so upset with me, because I was the main breadwinner. But you know what? God carried us through.
Yeah.
I wasn't silly. I knew that it would take time. It's like a seed, Jim. It's like I've had 2 children. It's like being pregnant with this purpose thing.
Yeah.
And once you're pregnant with purpose, it has to come to life. Like, you can't keep it in there. It ain't gonna stay in there. It has to come out.
It has to come out. It has to come out.
It has to, and it's gonna come out, and it's not gonna come out in your timing. It is not a set time. It's gonna germinate. And so you've just got to keep being peaceful.
Yes.
And so, Deidre, I'll share something with you. So I thought I had purpose wrapped up. But I had part of my purpose wrapped up in my worthiness. And so it was too heavy to carry. And about 5 years ago, I got told that I'd had PTSD from some of the stuff I'd experienced in my life, which I didn't realize. That's okay. I was like a tough cookie. And then I went through this absolutely transformational piece where it wasn't just about what I knew and how I was living it. It was how I could become it. I know I'm going even deeper here for everybody, so please just stay with me, right? So the purpose that I had is a journey. The purpose is a journey. Like, it's not a destination. No, I know our purpose. So I think that's very important. It's journey. And I think I'm so grateful for the 5-year mark where I needed to take purpose and place it into transformation of me, fully, hand over. I actually said to my coach / therapist, so that means I'm surrendering, right? And he said, oh no, please don't surrender. I said, no, I'm surrendering fear. I want to surrender my stories, my shame, what I'm not, what people ask me. How much does the business make? Who cares how much the business makes? It makes enough for me to be here. Don't worry about it. Oh, you need this big business plan. How are you going to grow? Well, I'm going to grow where I'm called to grow. Don't you have a vision? I have a vision that's strongly connected to my purpose. My vision is to run a financially healthy practice, to pay myself a good salary, to spend time with my family, to get sustenance and joy from those I love, to bring the best of what I have so that others could be better, to make the world better. That's why I'm here. Like, it's quite simple.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Very powerful.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. I suppose the key thing I want to leave with or give everyone out there is you all have gifts. We all have them. They are God-given gifts. And they're there to help you be better, to help make the world better. So yeah, I think it's really, really important. Now, Deidre, have I lost you?
No, I'm here. You haven't lost me.
Oh my goodness, you're there.
I'm here.
You're here. So Deidre, where are we going now? What else would you like to ask me to share? Because I could keep talking, really.
You are mentioning some very powerful points. I definitely related to a lot of what you're saying, and it's amazing to know that, we are from different parts of the world, but we still connected in some way, and we relate in some ways. And I connected with a lot of what you spoke about, in that So very, very important that you do not allow people to, oh my goodness, that was powerful for me. You cannot allow people to define you. People like to put you in a box. They want to say, this is where you are. This is where you're going to end up. This is where you're going to stay. And you're not going to go any further than this. Nobody can define you. You define you. Actually, you've already been defined. I feel like your creator has already defined you.
You have been called.
Mm-hmm.
You have been called. Yes. You have been prepared. You have been given what you need.
Oh, yes. Definitely. Definitely. I connected with so much of what you said. So much.
You know, I want to keep speaking on that fact. If I let somebody else define who I need to be through their lens of fear and judgment.
Yes, definitely.
I am a prisoner.
Yes.
I'm a prisoner. I'm incongruent with myself. I'm incongruent with why I'm here, with what I was called to be. And I will say this, simple. I have a simple way to recognize when I'm in my purpose and when I'm not. Can I share? When I'm in my purpose, I am peaceful. I'm uncomfortable because, man, being in your purpose is a place of faith, right? But when I'm not in my purpose, I'm very fearful.
Ooh, powerful. Yes.
Very fearful.
Yes.
Very fearful.
Yes. When you're operating in your purpose, you're not miserable. You're not going around being a nuisance to other people. You operate in a space of peace. You're peaceful. You're not a trouble. You're not a bother to other people when you're operating within your purpose. Powerful.
Boom. And you know what? You carry presence. Deidre, presence. And that means you become like a magnet, and then purpose multiplies. That's what happens every time.
Yes. You become a magnet. Yes. Powerful. Yes. When you operate within your purpose, you become a magnet and you attract those.
You attract it because you are giving good.
Yes.
And I will say this too. Not everyone wants your purpose. I just have to be honest. So that's okay too. That is okay too. Not everyone's ready to be connected with your purpose. That is okay too. Don't take that as a you're not good enough moment. Just release it. Everyone's on a journey.
Powerful. Ooh, I love that. You have to receive that. Not everybody's going to be willing to accept your purpose. Not everybody's going to be willing to accept you, but you can't be offended by that. You have to continue doing what you have to do. Not everybody's going to get it.
I don't want to be offended. I want to stand next to you in love. It's not my job to make you see what I see, and maybe you were never destined to see what I see. That's okay too. It's okay.
And I think that's a distraction for some persons because they spend so much time trying to convince other persons to get on board what I'm doing, to accept me. Hey, accept me, accept what I'm doing. Hey, I'm doing good things. Why don't you accept me? But you're wasting time, especially if that person is not aligned with what you're doing. And not everybody is going to understand your purpose. Not everybody's going to understand what you're doing, and not everybody's going to accept that. We're not for everybody. We're not made for everybody.
You are 100% correct. 100% correct. And see, then we go into the worthiness battle that I spoke about earlier. So then you shift into fear and you start trading your worthiness, and your purpose gets lost. And so if I had to recap, purpose is inside all of us. It takes courage. It takes faith. Walk on the water. You've got to walk on the water. Whatever the water is, that is your purpose. Walk on it. You don't look at it and stare at it and fear it. You just got to get out there. Learn every day. Love yourself. Thank God for your journey. Look at your journey with love, man.
Ooh, I think sometimes we despise our journey when we have these difficult moments. But I love that you said we have to love our journey. We have to love our experience. Yeah.
Love your journey.
Even the bad parts.
It's made you. Jeez, the bad parts. are only bad because we fear of judgment and we thought of what we weren't in those moments. You know, the bad parts are shame related. But imagine if I look at the story with love and I go, you know what, you did the best with what you had in that moment. I love you, Tina. I love you, Deidre.
Yes.
So I think, you know, that's the story, Deidre.
Yes, powerful. Listen, you touched on so many things that I connected with today. So I'll talk to you all day, but I want us to wind down. We're coming to the end of our session. I know you have to go, and it's very, very powerful. I hope we can continue our talk about purpose on another
Deidre,
time.
you just come back here. I'll invite you to my next episode, and we can talk about my next
we have to
season
figure
happens.
out our time. But we're coming to the end, and I have just a few questions for you. We call this our fast talk segment. Our guests have 60 minutes to answer each question. So, can you name one benefit of finding purpose in the work that you do?
And it allows me to feel connected and grounded and filled with presence.
What led you to
that question?
I'm sorry.
Okay, go.
What led you to start your group organization, Ignite Purpose?
I was called. I had to. I had no choice. It had to happen. I could keep going from job to senior job and but that wasn't what I was called for. I was called for this. And I knew it. I just needed courage. And when I stepped into it with courage, it's been an amazing journey.
How do you find purpose in your work? How do you find purpose generally? How do you find purpose?
Because I live it. I don't have to find it. I am my purpose. It's in me. It comes out and I remind myself by using what I have to help others be more. And if it's about the we in my world and not about the me, I'm in my purpose.
So can you say you don't find it, it finds you?
Does purpose define me? It's my heartbeat. My purpose is my heartbeat, and it's so connected to who I am. But maybe I can say this to you: who I am defines me. My purpose is a product of who I am.
Thank you.
I could look at it many ways, Deidre. We could play this many ways, but I think that's this morning.
No, you did awesome. Thank you so very much. And I just want to finally ask you if there's anything else you would like to add.
Remember that who you are is beautiful and precious, and your journey has got elements on and in and around that will help you bring your purpose to life. So step out, have faith. And if you are searching for purpose, why don't you stop? Why don't you pause? Why don't you look at what you have and look at it with love? And then ask God or have faith that you can bring it to life for those that it was purposed for.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's it.
It's powerful. Thank you so much. And so we've come to the end of our session. It's Foxwell. We've come to the end.
Thank you.
So I want to thank our viewers for listening to our talk. I would like to thank our guest, Christina Foxwell from Ignite Purpose. I would like to thank our viewers for listening in, like our page for future notifications. Ms. Foxwell, would you like to share your page?
Yes, so if they want to catch me online, it is Ignite Purpose on Facebook or www.ignitepurpose.com.au. Very simple. Just remember .com.au because we're in Australia. And yeah, they can find me on social media channels. I do some little bits and pieces on YouTube, and I've got a podcast called Ignite Purpose with Christina. So if they want to check it out and go on the journey of, purpose and growth, and have a look.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No,
Thank you so much. I
Thank you for
definitely
your work.
benefited.
Thank
Very
you. And
important
thank you for
topic.
inviting me. I
You're
am
always
super
welcome.
grateful.
We consider you are a friend. You're a friend. And we thank you.
I like it. Thank you.
So comment under I'm sorry.
I said, okay.
Yes, you're a friend. You're welcome anytime. Just call me up. Welcome anytime. So comment under our videos, let us know your thoughts, and let us know what you want us to talk about. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Can We Talk? Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, using all the addresses provided on our page. And remember, let's think, talk, do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.